All right, guys, welcome.
Let me see what this looks like.
I know we have Mark. Is Mark in our area?
We are live.
Is he in our comment section?
What's going on, everybody? Nick here with Utility Disc Golf.
I'm Tanner.
And here we have episode 2 of the Stay Fly podcast. So we're excited about that. We're going to be streaming that for y'all. We are live on Twitch right now.
Hopefully we're a little bit better at this.
Yeah, we're getting better. Working on it all.
Still working on it. We need an audio mixer, I think.
Yes.
To make it sound the best.
We need to get a mixer. We have like 50 USB plugs into our laptops.
Yeah, it's pretty
crazy. All running through there. We want to switch over to XLR and be able to use that and monitor the audio and kind of have live audio as well. Like be able to cue in music easily. Just really bring the quality of the show up for you guys.
Yeah. So
it's going to be good.
This is our second one.
Yeah. What's new with you, Tanner?
Not much. My elbow is healing. I don't think we've ever talked about it, but
Why don't you tell them about your elbow a little bit?
My throwing elbow, I don't think it's recommended to do disc reviews where you throw almost 100% to show off the max distance. So like a couple weeks ago when we did the River Pro review, that was like the first cold day. It was like it was like 25 degrees.
It's not negative.
It was.
Sorry about that. My microphone fell over. Ooh.
It was negative, probably in Celsius.
Yeah, in Celsius, but
Yeah.
we're in America and we use Fahrenheit. So
Okay, so it was about 27 degrees, and it's like the outside of your elbow, which I think a lot of people refer to it as like tennis elbow. It's been kind of a struggle, especially since we've done the machete review, and we've had another couple rounds between then, but it's getting better.
It's just that no warm up. We like rush out onto the field and
Yeah,
just
it's
start,
like
winging
the drone
it.
batters are dying. We got to get this out. So yeah, I need to warm up a little bit more. Being a personal trainer, you'd think that I would perform a dynamic warm up before throwing, but I just get in my head when we're doing our video recording. I'm like, we need to get this out. We only have an hour worth of drone time. We want to get all the shots we can, and so I can edit whatever bad throws we do, because sometimes there's some bad throws that we have.
Yeah, we aren't perfect robots. We're actually amateur disc golfers. So luckily we can edit and take as many takes as we want, because sometimes it takes a little bit, especially cold. And another thing that kind of poses a issue with us, especially in the cold and not warming up, but batteries die in cold weather extremely quick. They were so cold, we couldn't even put them in the drone. It wouldn't even take off the ground because it said the batteries were too cold. So we had to go back, sit in the car.
Put them on the defrost.
Put them on the defroster.
We listened to a little, what were we listening to? If people were watching our Instagram stories, we were listening to Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, it was like NSYNC or Backstreet Boys on the radio. I don't know if you guys remember that. We were kind of just dancing a little bit. Somebody said you're behind the laptop. They want to see your beautiful face, Tanner.
Well, I'm kind of running the show right now.
He's got like all these videos.
We have new
up.
segments.
We're just gonna talk about in a little bit,
and we're gonna be switching between some things. And I'm checking the audio, which is I think the audio should be better than the last time. If you guys are listening,
yeah,
we shouldn't.
People
be
say
blowing
everything
your
sounds good.
out.
Got couple yeps from people.
Yep. So I'll try not to be behind the computer, but
it's okay if you are.
I'm like the audio visual sound guy. So is that better?
Yeah, he's a little behind the scenes guru, man. He's like I can't do it. And then he'll just go on Google talking to his phone and then magically fixes something.
Yeah, with internet these days, there's no excuse to not know how to do something.
No, Tanner never edited a video before we started doing this.
Yeah, I've never done a podcast either.
No, everything's... It shouldn't be called Stay Fly. It should be called On the Fly Podcast because everything is just by the seam of our pants. But that's what makes it fun and entertaining and keeps it realistic for you guys to know that we're just two normal guys that anybody can do this.
Yeah, we just want to produce content for you.
And it's going to get better.
What's up with you? Any rounds lately? Or
no, I haven't played a round in a few days just because
was the last round? Did we play together the last round?
Where was that? Did me and you play together?
We played
Anyways,
downriver.
I've been playing downriver a lot. Downriver here in Spokane is the best conditioned course, I guess, for the tee pads. With the snow and cold temperatures that we get, if you don't get the tee pads swept off quickly, they get frozen. And Rick Bates, a local guy here in Spokane, has been killing it. Not just him. I know other people have been helping as well. But he's been kind of...
Levi was helping too. That one round we played, Levi was helping.
it seems like they've been facilitating a weekly shoveling, which is nice. We've been out there and helped them a little bit. And so that's nice. So I've been playing downriver a lot. I just feel like I haven't played around in a few days ago. Just been busy with work. I have tomorrow off, so maybe go try to get out on the course then. But yeah, nothing really new with me. Kind of just we've been working on the utility disc golf stuff, putting out little vids. We got a new box from Dynamic. I saw that somebody just said that's a sick looking deputy.
I'm going to actually show you a little closer version of this because Anthony from Dynamic Disc, he's now part of their media team with Bobby Slick Daddy Cool Breeze.
Yeah, Anthony Vanden Heuvel. I think he's
related to you. Vanderlinda.
Vanderlinda, Vanden, Anthony.
But here, I'm going to get a little closer. This is the coolest deputy. I don't know. I got 2 Paige Pierce signed deputies. They're pretty sweet.
Yeah, they're signed by Paige Pierce. So this, I'm not sure. We're not sure if this is a double stamp. It might be a little harder to see, but there's like an offset kind of blue behind like the silver front stamp, which is really cool. It's kind of hard to see on there. Oh, you can almost see it at that angle right there a little bit. It looks a little 3D-ish. Like the behind stamp's like blue and gold and red and whatnot.
It's a rainbow.
Oh my gosh, double rainbow. Yeah, anyways, double stamp, double rainbow. It's a beautiful deputy. So shout out to Anthony for sending us that.
Didn't Anthony say that we took that out of Robert McCall's bag?
Yeah, this is actually Robert. I don't know if it was out of his bag. I think it was out of his stash.
I think he literally
Let's just think it's out of his bag to make it cooler. But no, Anthony was telling us this morning that, because I said thanks for sending us these discs, and he said, yeah, actually, that's a deputy out of Robert's personal stash because they didn't have any. And so that's Dynamic going above and beyond.
Yeah, and then we got the Bryce as well.
And we got the Bryce.
I've been throwing the Zion, which I lost on a course apparently. So a local saw one of our posts of me posting posts, and so I'm gonna get that back hopefully whenever I meet up with him.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. By the way, calling people back or finding people when they lose their disc, because we all do it.
Especially when you don't put your name in your number on your disc, like I don't. Because I always think I'm going to sell them or something.
Well, I don't know about you, but when I get a brand new disc and it hasn't like earned its way into the bag yet, I don't ink it up. Yeah. And that's usually when I lose them.
Yeah.
I try not to lose discs though. But anyways, be a good person. I know all you disc golfers out there are good people, and you do call the numbers back, and you make an effort to get these discs back to the rightful home. So you've been throwing the
Zion, which is a 2K mold, which is the
2K
new
mold
over mold from Latitude 64.
Okay.
And we wanted to try out some more of these newer discs from Latitude, so we asked Anthony. He said, what do you guys want to throw? And I said, why don't we do one of the overmolds, either the Joby or the Joby or the Bryce. So this is a sick orange Bryce, which if you know me and Nick, we kind of like orange plastic now as he just takes out the table.
I was gonna say, I like orange.
He says he likes orange. I'm not sure if you can hear him. But yeah, it's a Bryce. It's an understable fairway driver. The numbers are 9, 6.
It's a 9, 6, -1, 2. Sounds like a beat-in-ish
I feel
fairway
like
driver.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna probably throw like an escape maybe. I'm not sure what the escape numbers are. I think it's probably more understable.
It feels nice. It's pretty flat on top. Not to give you guys a review, but it's pretty flat feeling and medium whip rim because of the 9 speed. But the 6 glide, I'm intrigued about. Why would they award it that number? I'm not a huge numbers guy.
Me either. No, and neither is Trilogy. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Dynamic. It's Cool Daddy Slick Breeze and
Yeah.
Anthony and Robert, no nickname McCall, and them are always talking about how not to get caught up on the numbers, because people do that. They'll go and be like, I heard them talk about a story about some guy said he wanted this type of disc, and the Dynamic RV guy or something like that handed him a disc. He threw it perfectly, exactly how he said he wanted it to fly, was amazed by it, asked what the numbers were, and when he was told the numbers, he was displeased with the disc now and didn't want to use it. So, guys, don't trip on the numbers.
Yeah, don't be a number.
But I am intrigued by the 6 glide on this.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Trilogy, they have higher glide than maybe
Do they?
other companies.
Do you think so?
I think so. If you look at like Innova, I don't think they have a lot of discs that have 6 glide.
No.
But in the Trilogy family, I feel like you see it all the time.
Anyways, numbers, right?
Yeah, so we got 2 of those discs. We're going to have the next disc review that we're going to do is the Deputy. I have a couple Lucid Deputies at home that are signed by Paige Pierce. One of those we're going to use in the disc review. The other one we're going to use as the giveaway. They're orange with a black bar stamp, just like this one.
Yes.
So they're pretty sweet. It's going to be an awesome giveaway. And then the Bryce, we only have one disc. We might have to ask Disc Golf Center, our sponsor, to send us a couple more Bryces so we can do another disc review on that second.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys would like to see that. I haven't really felt like there was a lot of reviews or just coverage of the 2K overmolds coming out from Latitude. And I remember when I went to Glassbone last year, they were coming out then. And so it's almost been a year. They're coming up soon. So I'm excited to try this out and seeing you throw that Zion.
Yeah, the Zion, the numbers are more related to like a Firebird, but throwing it, I felt like it was more like kind of a beat-in, kind of a little bit flippy Thunderbird. I was able to get some flex on it. But let's stop talking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're reading the chat.
Oh, I can't see chat.
Prayhard says he tats all his discs. He has a few Sextons at home that are pristine. I get that. I definitely have a couple wall hangers that don't have any ink on them. Or actually, they're hanging on the wall because they do have ink. But it's not my ink.
I would say if I dump my bag out and I throw them on the course, I wouldn't get 80% of them back because I don't have numbers. So what I do is I take photos of my disc, I post them on our Instagram, and then all the locals know that that's my disc because it's on my Instagram. That's how I tag my disc by throwing them on social media.
He just writes his Instagram handle on the back of his disc and hope people find him.
Yeah, just utility disc golf.
Just utility disc golf. Yeah, I get that. It's good. Ink up your disc too, so you at least have a chance to get them back. Why don't they make a Robar arm? This is what Emmingham says. Why don't they make a Robar arm to chuck discs in a closed stadium to standardize the numbers so they would actually mean something? That is a really good point. I've thought about that, kind of like using like what they use to shoot.
Skeet shooting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Skeet shooting. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of just like a perfect release.
Yeah,
now
the skeet shooting, they just have one single arm that goes out, I believe. If you were to simulate a disc golf arm, I feel like you'd have to have like 3 different levers, kind of like a chain.
Like a pole.
Yeah, and then an extension, and then a wrist flick at the end.
Kind of like a trebuchet. I've heard the disc golf throws being referred to as like a trebuchet motion.
Yeah, but just on a different plane.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Goes the other way.
That's a great idea, Emmingham. I've thought the same thing. I think that they try to come to a consensus of like what the numbers are, and now again, people need to take into consideration their arm speeds, their skill levels,
their form,
their form. Yeah, these are huge things that may make the numbers seem not accurate. I guess in a way, people are like, "Whoa, that didn't get a bunch of glide," or "That was way more overstable than a 2," or something like that. When really it was like, no, it's like a 14-speed disc, and you don't have I don't have a 14-speed arm. That's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like my arm sits in between like a 9 to. Yeah. I can throw destroyers, but I feel like a 9 is my sweet spot.
Yeah, the sweet spot to like get a nice like turn, like
I can control it the most is probably
9 or 10. I'm with you right there.
Yeah,
and I love the size of the rim of the kind of medium speed disc. The tech has got to be there. Make it an engineering design project at a university. You know what? I think that we should write a letter. Emmingham, write a letter to the Harvard or Yale engineers, and let's tell them the idea of how we want a standardized testing system to create the numbers for the disc.
I think that the person who's commenting, I don't have my Twitch up, but I believe that's the one that said he was confused last week on our last podcast when we were talking about one of the pros that switched over to Prodigy. The guy's name was Nick Masters, if you guys were wondering, and that's who switched
not
from.
Emmingham.
Yeah, not
not Nick Masters
or anything like that. Nick Masters is the one. If you guys were listening to last week's podcast, he's the one that switched. I don't know if he actually was sponsored by Latitude, but I think he won a contest where he got some stuff from like Ricky Wysocki. He had actually one of those plays of the year, or shots of the year, if you watched the Alti World.
Did he, was he the one, I might be wrong, was he the AM that won the Masters Cup? So then he was on the first round lead card of the Pro, because Masters Cup is 2 weekends, and they have like an AM weekend and a Pro weekend.
I know what you're talking about.
Was that him on there?
Could have been.
Anyways.
One thing, should we go into Tanner's topics first, or should we go into Nick's clips?
Let's just do Nick's clips, because that's exciting. We'll give you guys a little feature. So, an intro to this new segment. Hold on, let me take a sip of water.
Is that a Tempercraft?
This is a Tempercraft water bottle.
Not a sponsor.
They're a sponsor on the Disc Golf
Pro Tour.
Yeah.
But they're not a sponsor of Utility Disc Golf.
And maybe they'll sponsor Utility Disc Golf, because I like them. They're really good. This is from the Next Adventure Amateur Championships on the Blue Lake Disc Golf Course down in Blue Lake, Oregon, below the Washington border that I played in. A nice amateur A-tier run tournament. In the players packs are amazing. We got like 3 different trilogy discs, some burst plastic I saw in there like before I'd ever even heard of it. Also, we got water bottles, jackets, stickers, like the whole 9. So this Tempercraft water bottle is really nice.
So you said that tournament was in Oregon below the Washington border?
Yeah, it's like right below the Washington border in Blue Lake, Oregon.
Isn't Oregon below the Washington border? Just in general?
Yeah, in general it is.
Okay.
But I mean like the actual...
It's like right below.
Yeah, it's below the border. It's very
party
close.
line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, bud.
So
smart Alec over here. And one more thing. That course is designed by Dave Feldberg.
Oh,
and
Latitude
it was
64
one of the courses
sponsored.
played in the 2014 Worlds. So it was a beast of a course. It was like in the longs. It was par like 66. So
par.
Yeah, par 66. And it was like OB every hole. Amazing course. You guys should definitely try it out and play it. That's me. Emmingham says that's me. So you were right. It is him.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my water bottle, Tempercraft. You guys tried it or that tournament. Check out that tournament next year. Be on the lookout. The knack. That's what I call it.
ADD again. So we're getting into our new segment. We're going to try to have our podcast set up with a couple different things. We talked last week about how we want to do pros and contests, where we're going to talk about pros and tournaments coming up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to be probably a big segment right now because the Pro Tour and all the pros haven't really started the 2018 season. I think you said the first tournament is in February?
Yeah, the first tournament should be formerly known as the Gentlemen's Club, the GCC Gentlemen's Club Challenge in Las Vegas. Now it is the Las Vegas Challenge, and
because the girls need their shine too.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was funny that they call it the Gentlemen's Club. Kind of was like, whoa.
Oh, Paige Pierce won the Gentlemen's Club.
Yeah, it's just, with Vegas, it makes sense. But anyways, yeah. So that's now the Las Vegas Challenge going to be in February. I guess I could look it up because there's a computer right in front of me if I wanted to. But I know the tour kind of starts in February, and usually it's like Gentlemen or Las Vegas Challenge, and then it's like Memorial next weekend. So people are having to like shoot over real quick. And some pros won't do it. They'll either go spend an extra week practicing for Memorial and start their tour there, or some of them hit both too.
So that's going to be one of our segments coming up. Probably won't be in this podcast. The next segment, Nick is always finding cool disc golf videos, and he's always searching through our Instagram. So one of our segments that we're going to start right now
is called
Nick's
Clips. And this is where I'm going to just bring you sick clips that we found, and we're going to show you them so you can be aware of them. You can share them with your friends.
So once we figure out how to upload this onto a podcasting form, we call this podcast, but it's just in video form right now.
It's a podcast.
It's a podcast. We're going to have to describe these clips for people who are just listening. So check out this cool setup here.
So
Nick's Clips.
Nick's Clips.
How's that look, Nick?
Nick's Clips, baby.
Are you on Twitch?
Yeah, we're on Twitch. It
Can you
shows.
see it?
Yeah, here we go.
All right. So let's set up this first
We're gonna do this
clip.
one first?
Yeah.
All
This is the Shark Tooth Open, which has been uploaded, I think, in the last couple of weeks by Central Coast Disc
Central
Golf.
Coast has been putting this out. I'm not sure when this tournament was. Oh, it was Thanksgiving weekend. That's when it was. So Central Coast is keeping us nice and fed with all these disc golf videos, and they've slowly been putting out these Shark Tooth Open ones. And we're going to look at some clips from, is it David Madruga? David's his name, right? I wrote it on the...
Yeah.
David?
Madruga or Madruga?
Madruga. He's a Madruga.
I think it's Madruga.
Yeah, Madruga. Anyways, David Madruga, sponsored by Legacy Disc, and playing with his teammate / company owner, Steve Rico.
Yeah, and Drew Gibson, which was interesting. If you guys haven't watched this tournament, Drew Gibson is throwing, it looks like for the first time in a while, an Innova bag. And so if you want to see somebody crush Firebirds and make them look like
not Firebirds,
T-Birds,
it's
a really cool tournament to check out. So to set up this clip, this is the final round, the final 9 of the Shark Tooth Open. It's on hole 3. Madruga, is he leading at this point? Do you remember?
No, he's not. Now, this is on the final 9. I think
Drew's winning.
Drew was in the lead. So this is hole 3 of the final 9. Drew was in the lead. He had kind of, if you watch the first round, they kind of struggled through a little bit of the first round, it seemed, for all the pros to find the rhythm. And actually, on the second round, I don't think either Steve or Drew were on the lead card. And then third round, they came back and, in Drew fashion, came storming back and decided to kick some butt. And then him and Madruga, Drew Gibson and David Madruga, were battling it out. And Mr. Madruga did a pretty sweet clip
So let's check out this clip. So
to change momentum. This is
A
hole
seven-
3,
par 3.
par 3, a 712-foot par 3. If you haven't seen this, go back and watch this drive.
It's downhill, I believe.
Yeah, they crush off the top of this thing. Most of them are skipping it off the cement. If you're getting a 2 on this hole, it's because you're going to do what Mr. Madruga just did. You're not getting it by parking it.
So
Let's let
we're going to start the clip.
the video do the talking.
Hopefully it loads. Oh, internet problems.
Oh, we're good. Oh,
So since you guys aren't, some of you might not be watching this later on as it's trying to load.
Yep.
Madruga is on one knee.
I'll tell him.
Okay.
For next clips.
Okay.
So they can hear my voice. For the people who can't see me. So this is David Madruga. Hole 3
It's not
of the final 9. He's waiting for his shot to buffer. If you can see this, because the screen is buffering. Anyway, so he crushes it down. This is a 712-foot par 3, which I know sounds ridiculous. It's off of a huge crushing top, off of the hole, and they come in on like a hyzer, usually throwing like it seems like a nice controlled driver, and then it's hitting the cement and fading in and landing kind of in a field where they'll have an upshot, usually ranging from 150 feet or so, or maybe a little more if they land not so close to the basket. And the basket looks like it's a little treacherous because it has OB behind it. And Mr. Madruga, once we get this video to load, is going to show us what's good. It's at the 7-minute mark on the final 9. Sorry for these technical difficulties, guys.
So he's on one knee.
All right, here we go. Check this out. Oh, my gosh.
And look how nonchalant he is.
Wow, so nonchalant. Sorry, I'm watching on the Twitch stream, so it's a little delayed. Holy cow.
All right, let's go back and watch that. And Nick, you need to watch
let's
it.
catch that again. So let's talk about it a little bit.
Let's go from my screen so you can actually do a play-by-play.
Yeah. Okay, so he's on a knee. He's on a knee right now, which is kind of crazy. Oh my gosh. Backhands it floating in. Wow, dead center. Pops right in. And those baskets have not been catching their putts. So it's cool to see it catch a throw in. Wow, he says. He's stoked about that.
Also, if I remember correctly, right behind the basket is OB.
Yeah.
So for him to throw a shot like that and run it, if it misses the basket or hits those trees or doesn't hit those trees, it's definitely going out of bounds.
Yeah, definitely. And this is kind of when the momentum of the tournament, it was kind of like changing all bits through the tournament. But when you want to pause it real quick?
Yeah, I was going to try to get to the scores after this.
So this is what kind of that throw got it tied up with Drew Gibson. So that kind of caused, a ripple in the tournament with that throw and really bring the momentum in. And he went on to wait. Do I want to ruin it? I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert right now.
Close your ears.
Close your ears. You might assume what I'm gonna say, but Mr. Madruga won the Shark Tooth Open.
Mr. Madruga.
Mr. Madruga. So after that amazing throw, he kept the momentum, and if you go on to watch that, which you should, he kept the momentum and kept it rolling. So shout out to Mr. David Madruga for that sweet clip. I don't know about you guys, but that just...
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that tournament, you should check it out. It's a very interesting course to watch be played out.
Especially by pros.
A lot of elevation changes. I mean, they're only throwing... Some of those holes are only 200 feet, but they have 150 feet of elevation they have to throw up. And they also... A lot of the baskets are on ridges, so if you don't land on the proper spot, rollaways are like... They can end your round. So if you haven't watched that tournament coverage, I would definitely check it out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of low... It's kind of like park golf, and so there's a lot of low-hanging trees.
They had, I think, 2 different courses. I think they had the park course and then a mountain course.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. So that 2 different rounds. Well, there's 3 rounds. One of the rounds they played the mountain course. And then the final 9 seemed to incorporate a few from each.
Yeah, and from what I know, the commentary
actually kind of safari.
Yeah, it was safari because they were talking about different tee pads. From what I remember listening to on the commentary, the final 9 was after already playing, I think, a round or 2 of golf. And so
yeah, it was a long day.
Fatigue might have been setting in on a lot of those players. So check out the Shark Tooth Open. That was our first clip. Hopefully this next clip loads properly. The last one didn't.
This one's on Instagram, and I actually just figured out who this was because I only saw their back, and I never clicked on their Instagram. I don't know why, but This
is from disc_phenom.
Disc Phenom. So that's Cameron Messerschmidt, a Pacific Northwest local, now touring disc golfer. If you're from Spokane or around the area of here, he recently came this year and won the Lilac Country Cup out at 4 Mounds Disc Golf Reserve here, and that's like in 5 Mile, Washington, I guess. He came and won that tournament, so a shout out to him. He won that in Open. So this is Mr. Messerschmidt doing what I would say is like one of my favorite things to do in disc golf, and I just think it's might be the most gangster thing you could possibly do on the disc golf course. So let's just take a look at
Watch
what
it
he
on my
does.
screen. So you're
Let me
up to
take a
date.
look. Let me take a look right here.
So we're gonna play this.
Here we go. Let's let it play out.
It's laying up about a 70-foot putt.
Bam. And now, what I love about the video, I love how they bring it back too. So you can really just see how much he's actually just walking during the flight of his disc. So he's like, yep, that's in. I'm just going to continue and go get my disc. Oh, and then now it actually goes in the basket. So, Mr. Messerschmidt, that was possibly the most gangster thing I've ever seen.
It's
on the
pretty
course.
sweet. So the play-by-play on this, it's a jump putt from probably.
Well, here,
70
count his steps. Count his steps. He does a
Well,
little jog.
He does some jogging. Oh, backward steps.
Here, we'll go. Oh, never mind. We'll watch the video one more time.
So anyway, it's a jump putt. It's a straddle jump putt, which I think is, or it's not really a straddle.
It's like a kind of a staggered stance, straddle-ish
So
jump
we got
putt.
1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
If I had to guess, it'd be about 75 feet, 60 to 75
Anyways,
feet.
it's a monster putt, slightly downhill. Looks like there's some road behind it.
About a half second out of his hand, he's just walking it down. He knows
He's just
it's
walking it down. And I just think, I don't know about you guys, but I love doing that. I think that's one of the most fun things to do, just to like release a putt out of your hand and just start walking towards it because you're like, yep.
Yeah, if you check out our Instagram, Nick has about a same distance putt, and instead of walking it down like this, he does what people have been calling the inflatable waving arm tube man.
The wacky inflatable tube man.
Yeah.
Wacky inflatable tube man. Wacky
So
inflatable
check
tube
out
man.
Utility Disc Golf's Instagram if you want to see that long jump putt by Nick, and you can give us another name for that jump putt dance. So last week on the podcast, we also talked about an ace at the Memorial.
Yes.
And we just
did.
talked about it, and you told me there's a clip, and so I had to find it.
Yes.
So this is one of Tanner's clips that he wanted to have on this segment.
Now, this is Tanner's clips, but I must give you a background on the player. Now, this is Ross Liu, a local hero from Spokane, Washington. Actually, he lives in the Valley, Spokane Valley, if you're from here. Now, he is known as Ross Liu, a.k.a. Ace Liu. So, that tells you how many aces he gets. Yeah, you got it. Close call on the football hype killer.
That's funny.
That's what Chief Brackett said. Yeah, it was close. But anyways, okay, Ross Liu. So not only has this guy going to do what he does in this video, but he does this on a seemingly daily basis around here locally. You can't even go online without seeing a Ross ace. It's actually kind of disgusting. I had to block him from social media because it made me feel so bad.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. I would never do that. It's so exciting to do it. Nobody is more deserving than getting this many aces because if you know Ross, you know it's just like the chillest, nicest, happiest dude. And he's a phenomenal golfer, as you're going to see here. Now, this is hole 1 of the Memorial. The Memorial. It just sounds so funny to say that fast.
At Fountain Hills.
At Fountain Hills, when he went and played the Memorial. Now, yes, this is from the AMPAD, which is, Ross said, I have from a trusty source. I messaged Ross before the show. And he said that's 300 feet on the dot. Now, the Pro Pad, which Nate Doss aced from, is 400 feet. Now, that doesn't take away the basket position, which is located 5 feet from the water, as you're going to see here. So let's let Ross do the talking now, and here you go.
All right. Do the play-by-play.
All right, we'll do it. So we have Ross on the AMPAD of the Fountain Hills. If you've seen this before, you've watched Memorial, you know this iconic first hole throwing completely over the water. And Ross fearlessly is going to take a Firebird, FAF Firebird, crushing it on a big, nice hyzer. It's coming in, hits the ground, skips up into the chains. Holy cow.
And
That was another shot that if it didn't hit the basket, that might have gone in the water.
definitely going in the water.
But that doesn't take away from it at all. An amazing ace by Ross. Let's check that out again.
At the very end, the cameraman goes,
On
on film? And Ross is like, on film?
Yeah, Ross is stoked.
Big hyzer. Plants it about 10 feet to the
Boom.
right of the basket and one big skip.
Oh
center
my
chains.
gosh! Just imagine. So this is hole 1. So I wish I had a little more detail on it. But is this his first hole, first throw of the tournament?
I'm gonna check. Let's cancel autoplay.
Anyways, so it's like that is
This was
insane
posted
for all
February
those
27th, 2015. So this was 2 years ago, 2.5, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Still pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see
So
all the-
those are the 3 clips that we did, and I really like this segment. I just like showing you guys these videos because I know that I love. I'm sure like a lot of you do, just to go into a YouTube hole or Instagram on the Explore page and just find amazing videos of people making gangster putts, aces, and sick throw-ins, or also just beasted drives or
yeah.
beautiful discs, bags, whatever. So this is going to be a segment where we're just going to share what we found out in the disc golf media world.
Yeah.
And it may be new, it may be old. If you have ideas of stuff you want to put on the show, send it to us, and we will definitely give you credit for showing us the video, all that stuff. But if you guys like this segment too, let us know about that, because that was pretty fun. We could talk about it a little more. We could talk about Ross a little bit. I know that he has, I wonder how many aces he has, but I think like I can count at least, like, since I've lived in Spokane for like 2 years, I can count at least like 10 aces.
Yeah, I remember at the end of the Chain Slayers, that tournament that we all played in, there was a CTP, or no, there was an ace pot, and nobody aced in the tournament. So then we did an old hole from the top of the road. It's apparently Old 6 or something.
Are you talking about a downriver?
A downriver.
Yeah, Old 6. It's like from the top of the road.
And so everybody that went into the ace pot had a chance to throw from the top of this. It's like a big downhill, probably 300-foot shot, but downhill probably 100 feet.
And the river's right behind it.
River's right behind it.
It was summertime, though, so it was like the river was kind of lower, but still,
And
it was scary.
was it Ryan?
Who won?
No, Ryan was back there.
Ross?
No, Ryan.
Ryan? Who are you talking about?
Isn't it Ryan?
Anyways.
Ryan that crushes? I'm probably thinking the wrong guy.
Anyways. Sorry.
Anyway, somebody was
Tanner's
down there
going
trying to
through
get the disc, and I knew Ross threw, I think, a rock. Ross threw a rock,
Uh-huh.
and it was one of the closest things to acing. Like the guy just
yeah. Dude, he throws rocks on like 17 here in Spokane, like a 420-foot hole with like a slight elevation, but he's like crushing a KC Pro rock off of it, and I'm like pumping my Thunderbird there.
Yeah.
Which I know he loves Thunderbirds too. That's another thing. Ross loves Thunderbirds, so I love Ross.
Yeah, so for the next clip segments, I might try to set it up so we can have like a forum on our utilitydiscgolf.com website. I'm trying to think of the best way that people can submit clips, because we'd like to have this
Maybe just like message us on our Facebook or
yeah.
Anyway.
I was gonna say Instagram too, but I know that Instagram videos are kind of hard to play back because they don't really scale well. So if you have a clip, either send it to us like a YouTube link, like upload it to YouTube or some other video platform, and then send us a link to it. Or I'm not sure how else you would send it to us, but hopefully I can figure out something where you can like do like a form submission for next clips, and we can try to showcase more of the disc golf community, maybe some more of the AMs, or the general disc golf community, not just the pros that are always on Jomez or Central Coast. I think it'd be cool to show a lot of the community.
That's why I agree. That's why I liked showing Ross's and Cameron. Yeah, he is a touring pro, but also he's kind of like a hometown, I guess, like a Pacific Northwest hero for us here. Him getting picked up by Prodigy now and him touring. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So the next segment, I don't have a sick overlay.
We don't have a sick overlay.
The next segment is going to be called Tanner's Topics, and this is where I just ask Nick basically about something. So this week I was on Dollar Disc Golf Auction, and
that's a very scary place to be.
Yeah, if you want to not have money, check out facebook.com/Dollar Disc Golf Auction.
Did you just say if you don't have any money, make sure to go check it out?
If you don't want to have any money.
Oh, yeah.
So,
if you don't have money, or you have money and want to get rid of it, Dollar Disc Golf Auctions.
So I'm just kind of amazed at how certain plastics on that site go for crazy amount of money.
It's ridiculous.
Anthon Destroyers, or Anthon Destroyers
Anthony
go
Destroyers.
for 250, 300. Even X-Out Anthon Destroyers, which I know are probably more rare because you don't get X-Outs. You were commenting.
Yeah, I saw this X-Out Anton Destroyer, and I was like, oh, wow, like maybe this one will only be like 50 or 60 because it's an X-Out. It's a mess up. This thing was like more than the other ones.
Yeah,
like
it is more rare.
400, and yeah, because it's more rare because it's an X-Out. But anyways, It's ridiculous. It's an insane amount of money. Like, what do you think about the amount of money? I don't know. You buy a decent amount of discs, but you have a rule on there.
I have a rule that I won't spend over like what I can get it at a local place. So like $20 to $25 if you're getting like a pro model.
There's no point in doing it.
I just picked up
more.
a Discmania P3X, brand new, matches my blue one that I just bought from Discmania's website, and I got it for $12. Should be on my house any second. I got a UPS thing. Shout out to the guy who I bought it from. Disc Golf Buyer Feedback.
Dope.
The guy I bought it from. Great feedback.
Yeah. Anyways, so what do you think about people spending hundreds of dollars? What do you think about people spending their next month's rent on a 10-year destroyer that's orange with an orange stamp that the guy before you who's selling it to you went and bought it for $17.99 at his local disc golf store? Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's crazy. I don't understand why, in particular, the Anton Destroyers are so popular. Is it just because he had like a kind of a troubled past, and so it's kind of hard to find?
I think with the whole he's back on Innova now.
Yeah.
He's just got announced.
Congrats to him. I mean, he's done his time. I think it's good.
Yeah. He had his troubles and then kind of like rised up. And then this year, like really showed through at Ledgestone. He was leading like the whole tournament, I feel. He was killing it.
I think he showed a lot of people that not only can Ricky and Paul putt well, but he almost is maybe a better putter. And he's a spin putter, I believe.
Yeah, he has that sweet spin putt, just like super direct, like, and it's just like, boom, right into the chains.
Yeah, and he's got that stutter step drive too, which is
he does like this little like, you can't see my feet right now, but I'm like shaking and shuffling my feet.
So why do you think that his discs are so expensive?
I think it's because it's him too. Like everybody knows what happened with Josh Anton. If you don't, go look it up. He went to jail for something and he's out and he did his time and that's that. And I don't think any less of him because of it. I think he's an amazing disc golfer. And with us being kind of new into the sport, I didn't really know Josh Anton before.
Yeah, like 10 years
I didn't
ago.
know when he was finishing second at Worlds like 3 years in a row. Gosh, that would kill me if that happened.
Yeah, Ricky had that for a while.
Yeah,
and Paul now.
But I didn't know that. So seeing, him come back, and I remember the first video I saw of him was at the St. Patrick's Classic Open or something like that, and he won it. It was like his first A-tier back, and he won it. He was killing it. So I think just like with the whole story, it kind of gives the disc a bit of
a lore, a little bit of disc golf lore.
Yeah, lore, and also it's just like it's like a disc golf memento. Like this is like an Anton Destroyer. Now I could see Innova like reproducing the Anton Destroyers.
So this is interesting you bring that up.
Okay.
Because I was looking at a different thread. It was a gold destroyer with a rainbow Paul Macbeth stamp, and it was selling for like
the Paul Macbeth, like when they did the Paul Macbeth prank.
No, just like a 4-time Paul Macbeth destroyer, normal standard stamp. But it was like the gold shimmer plastic with a rainbow stamp, I believe.
Okay.
And I was shocked when I looked at the bids. It went from like normal bids of like 15, 20, 25, 30, and then one guy's like 150, and everyone was just like, "What the heck?" And so apparently this gold...
There's always that one guy.
Yeah, this gold plastic is really rare for those destroyers. So when I looked at that, somebody goes, "Why are you buying this? You already have like 100 of these gold ones, like the exact same stamp and everything." And he goes, his response back was, "I buy destroyers like I trade stocks. I ride the ups and downs of the prices, and hopefully I can sell high." Yeah. And so...
It's like Bitcoin out here with plastic discs.
Yeah. We should start our own website, but with plastic, where we track the prices of popular plastic.
Yeah. So he says he buys them like stock. So that's like a reason. So I guess like why? Why do people do it? That's one reason. People buy it as stock, as disc stock. Now, I don't think it's a large enough market or a stable enough market to be investing, for me personally, to be putting $300 a disc. Just because, if I get more, then I can sell them for $600 later. Like, yeah, but you're going to have to wait. And also, like, what if it doesn't go up in value?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like you're investing in gold where you have, like, gold underneath your bed.
Yeah.
You just have gold destroyers.
Yeah, it's just a gold destroyer.
He's, like, in this will, he's like, all right, and on my gold destroyers are going to my kids.
Destroyers.
And people are like, what are these destroyers about?
They just get them.
It's just some Frisbee disc in the back. They're worth like $10.
It'd be like giving like getting a bond from your grandfather, like this will be worth money if you let it gain interest.
Yeah.
Gain interest, and then this destroyer
my
will be
third
worth
cousin?
400 instead of 3.
And then the third cousins get the gold destroyers.
The gold destroyers.
Oh, man. And they're all freaking out. I wanted the Anthons.
I wanted the Anthons. Exactly. So it's like people are crazy for spending this much money. Now, my speculation is that they're retired.
Okay.
And that they either, are very well off because they took care of themselves while they were growing up. Because I know there's a lot of like the collectors and stuff, or like, I wouldn't say older people.
Maybe they got into the sport back in like the 80s or early 90s.
Either that, or they're even then I see new people, like new adults, like just getting into it, and they're like going crazy, just like buying whatever disc they can, just to like have them. And it seems like it's also just something to do. Like that might be a reason. Like it's just something to do. It's a new thing, and $300 might not be as much to somebody as much as it is to me. But for me personally, to spend that on one disc, I feel like that would be, first of all, my fiance would kill me.
Yeah.
If I got anywhere near like the $50 mark for a disc. I don't buy a lot of discs, but so maybe that's why it's kind of a crazy thing to me. But yeah, so we see them for like.
So let me ask you.
Yeah, okay.
I know you have a couple discs that are hangers, like wall hangers.
Yes.
I don't think I have any besides my first ace disc, which it's kind of funny because it's one of the first discs I dyed, and
whose face is on it?
My face is on it. It's pretty funny.
Tanner aced with his face.
Yeah, my face disc got an ace. So that's the only one that I have like hanging on the wall.
Okay.
And in my
I have a
mind, the other one that I might hang is like maybe one of our first disc review disc or the Paige Pierce signed disc.
Yeah.
Just because it's signed by a world champ.
Yep.
What does it take for a disc to hang on your wall?
I have like 6 on my wall, and all of them have ink on them. And from like when I got a Pro AVR signed by Paul Macbeth, that's on my wall. It was a brand new one, and I was so excited when I got it. It was kind of raining out, and I ran away, and I smudged the signature a little bit, so that made me really sad.
Okay.
So I have that. So essentially, signature I have, or a disc that really holds like such a special spot, not from like a specific throw, but maybe for the activity that was going on, or I don't want to say activity, maybe from the moment that was like happening. It was like me going up to Eric McCabe. Like I have one on my wall from when I went to the Dynamic Factory, stamped my own disc, and then I was just ballsy enough to say, hey, are there any pros here that want to sign this? And they got in the radio, and Eric McCabe came down from his office, which was really cool. I thought do that. And this is during GBO week, so I know he had 1,000 things going on. And
did he play in the tournament, or did he just like
turn? Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah. I watched him. Followed his card. That was fun. But so that's what it takes for something to be hanging on my wall. Not because I paid $500 for it, but because of what happened. Like for me to attain that disc. Like I have another disc that doesn't have any signatures, and it's a sweet swirly star eagle that says USDGC doubles on it, and it was from me and my friend Mark here in Spokane. I don't need to say his last name for you guys. But we won a 27 holes USDGC doubles qualifier, and me and him, a little fun fact, me and him have been bring your own partner doubles partners 4 times.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I wanted to play a doubles tournament with you, and you're like, ooh, me and Mark are playing.
We're 4-time doubles champion, undefeated, and this is in weeklies and also in like unsanctioned doubles tournaments and all that stuff. So that's pretty fun. So that disc kind of holds a special place in my heart. So that's what it takes for a disc to be hung on my wall. Not because I spent $350 on it, because it's an Anton Destroyer. It's the orange stamp one with the orange plastic too.
Yeah, I mean, not to bag on those people that do buy those discs,
yes,
because
Mr.
there's other hobbies that are probably worse to do than buying plastic. And I think it's cool that people get into that kind of thing. It's kind of like trading cards, I guess, back in the day. Mm-hmm. Like when I was like, 10 years old, I had 1 million baseball cards, and we had just like bins and bins of football cards.
Who's Dr. Pollywog? Anyway, sorry.
To be on my wall, I was just thinking about this. I have my face ace disc, which I think everybody should have. And I was thinking about it the other day because I have a stack next to my computer of discs, like the ones I've been buying recently and I can't throw. I think I might start saving discs that have tournament stamps on them for every tournament I've been in, because I think that'd be cool just to like kind of have a stack of
I think it'll add
my
up
disc golf career.
really quickly.
So
that's what it takes.
So I have a Chain Slayer
so I guess the
strike
topic,
that I think I might hang up.
So we're going to bring it back to the topic of why do people spend so much money on discs that seem to like it's just a disc. Like I get that there's like the whole story behind the Anton destroyers. The 10-year destroyers don't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I mean like I guess I was holding on to those discs. Like I was just at the store. We were out, they had them out at the Farragut State Park, just like in the little ranger station. They have some discs in there. No, I didn't. My friend bought some, but like I was looking at it, I'm like, man, this is like a $250, $300 disc. Now it might have not been like the right one, because like some of them have, you know, it has to be the right stamp and the right color. And I know more colors are more desirable. But it was just weird to be holding a disc with the $17 price tag on it and knowing what other people would actually spend for it. So that's why like it doesn't make sense to me of why somebody just wouldn't go to the store. But then again, it's like what if they don't have access to the store? How do I find that specific one, or one just clicks to somebody? But yeah, so maybe let us know what you guys
your
think.
thoughts on it.
What do you guys think about people spending ridiculous amounts of money? Do you spend ridiculous amounts of money on your discs?
I kind of budget it. So I think we touched on it before. Since I don't like go out to the bars or don't smoke or anything like that, I feel like
straight edge.
I can afford to spend money on other things. So this was a problem for me back when I used to play video games. I used to be a big League of Legends player, and I used to buy and be like, I don't go out to the bars. I don't drink. I don't do anything like that. I can spend $20 a month.
What did you buy?
Custom skins.
Oh, you just buy stuff in game
just to make me look cooler in the game.
Yeah, so maybe that same principle, right?
Yeah, that's my principle for buying $20 discs every month. Maybe
but we're talking about
$200
discs.
Yeah, we're not financially set yet.
Yeah, and maybe that's it. Maybe we're just not financially set. It just seems that there are a decent amount of the bidders, like people in a war. It's like, wow, there's like 5 of you out there that really want this disc, and they're inching each other up by $1 a piece.
Yeah. The only thing that I'd be willing to spend that much on Dollar Disc Golf Auction, which we're just plugging them like crazy right now, is
it's a cool place.
Those like 25 wizards with custom stamps. That's that's the coolest thing, because you can put your own logo on it. I think Gateway is probably one of the coolest companies, because they actually will sell discs and be like, hey, you need to get a custom, 4.25 inch stamp or a small stamp. So that's really cool.
So I see that. So like not one disc for like a bulk of discs, and also maybe more of like a business move where like, oh, I could go back and sell these wizards, which might be the same mindset as the people buying.
They're just super patient.
Patient, and instead of buying a bunch of discs, they just buy one.
They're just waiting. They're just buying all those Paul Macbeth 4-time destroyers for when
he wins 5.
He goes to jail and then comes back out.
When he's in jail, that's what you thought?
That was a terrible joke.
That was a terrible joke, and I don't think Paul Macbeth will ever be in jail.
I don't think he would either.
That guy is like a prophet sent down from Jesus with a disc in his hand.
Yeah.
Sweet baby Macbeth, 3 pounds 6 ounce. He was a man. He had a beard.
All right, so that's Tanner's topics.
Yeah, that's Tanner's topics. Do you want to talk about another one? Because that was kind of fun. I like that. How long have you been streaming for?
About 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes?
Or 50 minutes.
50 minutes. That's cool. So maybe that's our topic. So we saw the Knicks clips, and then we talked about people buying expensive discs. Now, we didn't really like come to a conclusion. That's not the point of Tanner's topics. It's just for us to just sit here and talk about it, and you can have a conversation with us on the message boards. But that's fun. I like that. Is there any like final thoughts you have about people buying really expensive discs? Like you said, you'd only do it if it was like a stock, like a lot.
I don't see myself spending, a crazy amount on just a one disc. It'd have to have some type of significance to me. Maybe that's just like my like logical mind, saying like, I'm not going to buy this. It's too much work for me to sit on a disc and sit on $200 basically for me to maybe make $50.
Yeah, you got to sell it
the next time I put it on. Yeah. And you got to like they were saying, you got to play the stock market on those kind of things. So you got to pick your times on when you're going to post it online. You got to make sure that the buyers are out there.
Yep.
And
strategically bump the post. But if you have I'm also thinking that they're buying a product that they know that's going to sell themselves. They know that, like, what happens when Josh Anton wins a world championship, which I think
Those things are going to go crazy.
Dude, they're going to go crazy. They're going to be like $1,000, pre-Worlds Anton destroyers, and I could see Innova coming out with that. Well, I know he loves the CE plastic.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Let's talk about Josh Anton real quick because he's an interesting guy
a topic. No, I want to talk about. We'll do one more topic, the plastic types.
Okay.
So.
We're not just going to talk about Innova plastic types, are we?
Well, that's the only thing I can think of since they're an older company.
Okay, that's fine. Nothing against Innova. I like Innova. I have a ton of it.
CE.
Okay. Stands for Champion Edition. If you guys don't know,
that's
CE
like the old
plastic.
ones, right?
Huh?
Can you explain maybe like some of the older plastic types, because I know there's like a lot of like pro plastic from back in the day that's actually Champion plastic.
Yeah, I am.
Do you know more about that?
So I know CE plastic. CE plastic is a discontinued, sought after plastic blend from Innova Disc. It's called CE or Champion Edition Disc, and they are kind of more of an opaque Champion plastic that are usually like kind of fingerprinty.
They're kind of like
lustery, like gummy. They're just like really good feeling Champion plastics, like not like stiff, slick premium, like kind of like more flexible but premium, durable, fingerprinty plastic.
So let's maybe not talk about just Innova plastics. Let's just talk about.
But hold on, one more thing. But what I'm saying is, CE plastics discontinued, so that also makes it extremely desirable.
Yeah. Supply and demand. Basic
Supply and demand, baby. So riding the stock.
What I was going to say is, what do you feel? How do you feel about bagging discs that
What'd
are
you just say?
discs?
Did you say?
Bagging discs that are discontinued. Like for me, it doesn't make sense. If I want
like, why are you throwing a disc that you're not going to be able to get another one of?
Yeah, like I was watching In the Bag with
okay, I get that.
Des Redding. Is that the one you were talking about before on the last podcast?
Was that?
Innova sponsored.
Des
a little
Redding?
older.
Juliana Corver?
Maybe that's who it was.
Juliana just had In the Bag, and she had like a crow.
Yeah,
it
was her. So she was like, and if I throw a CE T-Bird or a KC Pro T-Bird, and I was like, KC Pro T-Bird, when did T-Bird come in KC Pro plastic? And then I looked it up, and it's like a Champion
Yeah, it looks
plastic.
like Champion. Yeah, I see those. There's like KC Pro Firebirds or like KC Pro Gazelles, and they're like, it looks like Champion plastic. Now, KC stands for Ken Climo.
Yeah.
Like KC Pro Aviars are like the Ken Climo.
What'd you say?
The Ken Climo blended Aviars. Or yeah, they have. So I'm not sure about the other older KCs.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
KCs. I'm sure you guys have seen them.
Do you bag anything? I know you have glow whales, which I don't think anybody knows Innova glow whales are. Do you bag anything that is like going to be hard to replace if you lose it? Because to me that doesn't make sense. First of all,
let's take a pit stop at those glow whales. Glow whales are an amazing putter with the V technology from Innova. It's kind of stable. Nice, predictable, stable. Anyways, it's a great driving putter, but they come in like Champion plastic and XT Pro and DX, but they in CFR disc, Champion Fundraiser or Candy Fundraiser, the ones that are usually tournament stamped, they come in Champion Glow. So they're harder to find unless you get them in a player's pack or just dollar disc golf auctions or something like that.
So I feel like you're connected to this.
So that's what you're saying, though. It's kind of harder to find the plastic is one thing. So whenever I do see glow whales, I've seen them in other places. Actually, I know Disc Golf Center has some, and they're sold, obviously. They're sold with a tournament stamp from some tournament, wherever they came from.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so they're a little harder. I guess that might be, the hardest disc to replace is just because it's, a CFR. But I agree, CFR disc. But I agree, I don't want to have a disc. I'm I can't go and buy another one and start beating this in or I even feel that way. I have a Thunderbird that's crazy beat in,
yeah,
so it has a nice turn to it, but still has a predictable fade. But it goes dead straight too, and that's not how Thunderbirds are when you first buy them. So I have other ones that are similar to it, which was nice, and I'm throwing them already to get it starting to beat down to that point, kind of like a continuous cycle. That's a little different than a discontinued disc.
Yeah,
that's more of I just have it beat into this place, and I really like it. Now, if we're talking about actual discs to buy, well, let me think. I'll just run through my bag real quick. I'll just say it out loud. Not a lot. Okay. There's a Magic Pure, a Whale, a Harp, a Gator. Well, that's later in the bag. But so a Meteor, I have a Z Meteor, but you can still buy those.
I think everything
flat
in your
top
bag you
KC
can,
rocks. I have these flat top KC rocks. You can still find them though, like the McPro 3 AVRs.
Yeah, I think I found one in a used bin at
Yeah.
whatever.
So flat
Play
top
again.
rocks. No, like there's really nothing in my bag that I could not replace, which is nice, which is really nice. So I don't buy like collector CE discs or, discontinued discs.
Is there any runs that you? Because I know like Eric McCabe says like, oh, I like this run of discs.
Yeah.
So if you guys have these, please message me because they're
Yeah.
a certain plastic from a certain tournament,
Yeah.
and they're like domey
Mhm.
and like.
I hear Eagle and talking about that too. Like, oh, this is a first run PD. Like these first run PDs or something like that. Like these are so money.
So
I don't.
You're not attached to discs like that.
Not runs. I guess
Maybe it's a
one
pro
one thing I
thing.
could say is like what the Thunderbirds I have. I really like the 3-time Thunderbirds, the 3-time Paul Macbeth Thunderbirds, and that's just because the beat-in one I have was money. So I was like, oh, it must be the 3 times. I really have no idea if
Three
it's
times or 4 times are different.
yeah, if it's different. I know that it might be a little bit, but no, the runs I don't get caught up. I like to be able to have an interchangeable bag where I can be like, dang it, like I lost my my Gateway Magic. Oh, go buy another one in the same plastic and be ready to rock. Or I lost my Sidewinder, my Star Sidewinder. Like I'm just gonna get another one. I lost my Meteor or something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I like the ability to have interchangeable discs where I don't have to like freak out if I lose it, and I don't have to think I just threw $100 in the water.
Yeah, you're not
What
throwing
about you?
those.
Do you have like? I feel like you don't. Your bag's always changing.
My bag's always changing.
Because we're always getting new discs, so it's like.
Yeah,
just
and I'm
throwing
always
out.
trying to figure out like what fits my, what's consistent for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started throwing Thunderbirds this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't really throwing any fairway drivers. So then I started picking up the T-Bird 3s, the River Pros, and all those kind of found a spot in my bag. And I was throwing Destroyers right in the beginning. I threw some Wraiths in the beginning, but now I have some Defenders that are kind of, I'm trying to test out if I like them more than Destroyers.
Yeah. The Defender is like the dynamic Destroyer, right?
I think so.
Not?
I've kind of
I
heard
know.
mixed opinions, and I've also heard that different runs of Defenders throw differently. Like Biofusion Defenders usually beat in a little bit quicker, and they're more straight to understable.
Is that different runs or different plastics?
Different runs and plastics.
Okay.
Because some of them are domey.
I was just like picking my belly button.
So, I mean, my bag's always changing. Like I got the Zion, which is
Yeah.
kind of feels like a Thunderbird, but I actually like the colors and the
2K
overmold.
overmold.
Yeah.
So you don't really have anything that's like irreplaceable.
No, and I feel like I lose discs all the time. Like that Zion, I don't know where it's
You
at.
didn't lose. I feel like you just forgot it.
Yeah.
What do you guys do? Do you guys carry around, $60 discs? Like I feel like Josh Anton's bag's probably worth like $1,200,
Yeah.
$1,500.
A lot of those older Nova
maybe
players,
more,
I feel
especially
like,
because it's Hib.
yeah. Well, I feel like the older Nova players, they have all those older molds, and they are kind of like stuck with, oh, I know how to throw this KC T-Bird. Perfect.
Yep. I get it. I would keep rolling with the same stuff. Like if it got me here, if it got me this far, I'm not going to stop now.
Yeah.
But eventually they're going to run out of their discs. But, maybe they have a large enough supply where they're like, I'll die before I run out of CE T-Birds. Like,
Yeah, I know
y'all
a lot
don't
of
know how much I have in my closet.
Like I know Paul Macbeth probably has hundreds of those ABR stamped Destroyers, which I know everybody wants.
Yeah, those
Have
are
those
cool.
ever gotten out of his hands? How much would those sell for? I think they would be.
I've never seen one.
I bet you they would outsell Anthon Destroyers.
Maybe.
AVR McPro AVR Destroyers, just sounds nice.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those. I've seen them in the videos. I've never seen one in real life, so I can't attest to how much they would sell for. But I imagine, since I haven't seen one, and I'm kind of into the disc golf scene, and I feel like it would go bat crazy,
Bat crazy. All right.
bat-ish crazy.
So yeah, let us know in the comments
If you
what
carry
you feel
around
about
crazy expensive discs.
Having kind of rare or hard to find discs in your bag, and what your logic is behind that. And then also what your thoughts are on buying plastics and kind of riding the disc market to see if you can make some money on them. Because it's kind of weird because the people that buy those discs for a lot of money, it's like they obviously like disc golf a lot, but then they also have this like business side where they want to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's kind of a dark like, oh, I'm buying all these Anton Destroyers. Not because I like the story or love disc golf so much. It's like, because I'm going to make $50 in 6 months on this.
Yeah, that kind of bothers me when people do that. I actually know somebody locally who does that, and I'm not going to mention them. But they went and bought all of the 10-year destroyers from one of our stores.
All of them?
There was like 15 of them.
Holy cow. That's just
And
a
it's a
lot of
business
money.
investment, but it also seems like, man, like nobody else gets them now.
Yeah.
Like, we're not a huge town. I get it, though. I get it. It's a business move. You're going to make money off of it. I get it. All I'm saying is that I'm just salty because I don't have one.
I know.
And I'm also salty at myself because I'm not going to spend money to go get one, let alone like $18.
Yeah.
Not going to be $200. So when people do that, like you guys see that happen all the time, like when they release the Sexton Firebirds,
It's like
boom,
sold out.
gone.
Yeah.
You can't even click fast enough. And people buy them in like, rounds of 5 or 10 or however many they can afford. And it's an investment because they're going to make a turnaround of like 800% probably.
I've been trying to find Doombirds for cheaper because I feel like they're not going to make that signature series next year, obviously, because it's a 2017 like fundraiser.
Those would be the discs to get. All these.
And I really like how they
stuff
fly. So if I hoard them, it's all because I like. I guess I answered that question that we had earlier. That's one of the discs that I would try to find and stock up on because I like the way it throws.
That's different. I think it's different if you're planning to throw them, like I do with whales. I have like 3 extra whales, and it's because every time I see one, I buy one because they're hard to find.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that with Doombirds too. Now, we're not doing it. Nobody's buying whales, by the way. I'm like the only
Whales
one.
are going extinct.
Whales are going extinct. But, so I get it, yeah. So, for throwing or for selling, now my opinion changes.
Yeah.
But I'm still not, even if I'm going to throw it, I'm not going to throw a disc that I have to spend a bunch of money on. That's another like stipulation I have with a disc. Like, is it rare? Can I replace it? Also, how much does it cost to replace it?
Yeah. Also, as a disc dyer, which we're going to come out with some videos soon because a lot of people seem to be liking
disc
it.
dyeing.
And if it keeps snowing like today, we're going to do our 6x6 video today. And it decided to snow 4 inches when yesterday it was the nicest day ever, but we were both working.
Yeah, we both worked. It sucked.
But as a dyer, I can be like, meh, I can dye an Anthon logo on top of my destroyer. I mean, it's not really the same.
Okay.
But I'm not going to try to sell it for $200. I can just be like,
oh,
I got an Anthon, and just like freak people out on the course. Oh, you're throwing that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I throw all of them. Like pop all these Anthon destroyers.
Yeah, have you seen somebody throw an Anton destroyer? No.
I've seen people throw first or prototype destroyers. Right?
Yeah, I've seen proto destroyers, which still go like brand new. They're like $250. It's funny too. You always have that guy in the card or something like that. Like, you're throwing that?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's worth more than my whole bag.
That's worth my whole bag. And they're freaking out about it, and I'm just like, I can't believe you spent that much.
Yeah.
And throwing. Well, good for you for throwing it, because you know what discs are meant to be? Thrown. Exactly. Even though I have wall hangers, it's because of the mementos and the times that I've spent with my favorite pros.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're going to wrap up podcast number 2. We went for about an hour.
Yeah, it's good.
Any
Let's do a
final
couple
thoughts?
announcements about some stuff.
I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm just going to do a little ramble. So, as you guys know, we'll give you a little plug of our sponsors. We are sponsored by Disc Golf Center, and they take care of us well. They send us discs and take care of all of our giveaways for our reviews.
Yes, if you guys like those giveaways that we try to do with every disc review, I'm still working on the machete. When you work on like forehands, backhands, thumbers, rollers, that's a lot of discs to go through, like a lot of videos to sync up. So if you guys have been waiting for the machete review, I apologize. It's just quite a bit of editing.
Yeah, and also we're doing the podcast, and we run our social media accounts, and we're not playing victim. We enjoy it. This is actually really fun. It's like my favorite thing to do. But we also work full-time jobs outside of here. So being patient with us, that's great. But Disc Golf Center, $12 and over, free shipping.
Free standard shipping, yep.
Free
Takes
standard
a little bit
shipping.
longer
It's like
to get
9
there.
to 10 days, but
Yeah.
it's free.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, and you'll forget about it after like 9 days, and then it'll pop up on your door, and you'll be so stoked.
Yeah.
Say Merry Christmas to me. So we got that Disc Golf Center, guys. Check them out. Also, these 2 discs right here were sent over by Dynamic Discs so kindly from Anthony over there. Robert McCall, thank you for your deputy.
Yeah, rainbow double stamp.
We're going to put that to good use. So shout out to Dynamic Discs just for going the sport. They don't sponsor us. They just are in contact with us and help us out with some stuff. And that's just kind of what Dynamic does. They just grow the sport, support each other, really just reach out hands. You can see that with the amount of people they're adding to their team right now. It seems like every day there's 5 new people added, which is great. Congratulations to everybody getting added. Jelly.
One thing that I want to say about that, if you guys watch Central Coast Champs vs. Chumps, I believe there's a gal.
Is there a new one?
There's a new one, but it's only for Patreon subscribers. $1 a month, you can get Champs vs. Chumps right now.
We have a Patreon too.
Yeah. I believe her name's Cynthia. Do you remember watching those videos? The little redhead girl. She's like 14 and crushes.
Cynthia?
I
I remember.
Cynthia.
Wasn't it at Waterworks? It was like
I can't remember.
the Kansas City
Yeah.
Champs vs. Chumps, and she whips it hard.
She should have been on she should have been on the Champs team because she was
definitely not a chump.
Yeah. I believe she got picked up by Dynamic, which is great pickup by Dynamic because she's definitely going to be with the future of the sport the way she hucks.
Dude, Dynamic just sponsored 2 local kids from, well, not from here, sorry. I'm also from Gig Harbor, Washington, or Tacoma, Washington, on the west side of Washington State.
Anywhere you've been, you're like, a local?
I'm a local, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a local, man.
So they picked up 2 other people?
They just picked up 2 smaller junior kids on their team. So they're supporting kids and hooking them up with, like, man, imagine being like 7, being like, I'm sponsored by Dynamic Disc. It probably does like resonate with them, like how big of a deal it is, but it's like, it's even a bigger deal than.
I'm sure their parents are really into disc golf if their kids are
playing.
Yeah. And so
how they get into the course.
They're probably like talking around the practice putting green, like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, my kid, 7 years old, Dynamic, no big deal.
See him over there?
Yeah.
It's my boy.
Brand new deputies.
Anyways, so Dynamic's doing that, and they're helping us out too. They're just helping everybody.
Yeah,
so.
we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Some other big news.
Yeah, let's tell them about the D word.
Mania.
Yeah, Discmania.
Discmania reached out to us as being 2018 media partners.
Media team members.
Yeah.
And I think there's a decent amount of us, of media team members, but it's still awesome that they reached out to us.
Yeah, so basically I'm not sure how much we want to get into this, but
we won't get too far into it.
Media members, basically, it's not like we're on the team or we're going to be only talking about Discmania for 2018. Nope. Basically, they're similar to what Dynamic is doing. They send us discs every once in a while. They want us to help promote their products, and we like showing you guys what's up with Disc Golf World. Mm-hmm. So Discmania reached out to us, and about once a month, I believe, they're going to be sending us new product or something to review.
It's like a new box.
Yeah, something to show. So we're going to have a video about every month that's going to be about Discmania, which is really sweet because our channel started off with all their new releases, the P3X, the Doombird, and the Crescent Falcon, which every one of those discs is in my bag right now.
Yeah.
So
good.
I really like Discmania.
I have in my bag? I don't have any of those in my bag, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if the P3X will fill my harp spot.
It's okay.
But
my bag's not.
So anyway, we're going to be on their team this year, their media team, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're happy they reached out to us.
Yes.
We have a couple online buddies, Rick Saffels, I believe.
Rick Safiels.
Safiels.
I don't know how you say his name.
He's from Oregon, so he's kind of local. He's also on the media team, and he kind of reached out to us right when we first started our channel. So it's kind of cool that we're in the same club as him now. We've come so far in such a little time.
We have. It is because of you guys. It's because of everybody watching. It's because of you guys watching the videos, commenting, clicking, entering the giveaways. All of that is, we don't do it for you, but we do it for the sport of disc golf and to grow, and because it's really fun. But we do it for you too. And then, so we do it for the utility disc golfers. But I want to talk about Discmania a little more. I just want to say that, like, reiterating what Tanner said, that doesn't mean that we're only going to be promoting Discmania. It means we're going to have the support from Discmania as well to promote them and just grow the sport of disc golf. I don't know if you guys saw the Discmania CEO put out like a mail or a letter called the Year of the Shield.
Yep.
They're going to be calling it.
Last year was their 10-year anniversary.
Yes.
And this year is the Year of the Shield.
Was it last year? Or I thought they started in 2006. I don't know.
I think I read an article that said...
It says in the article, actually,
I think it said last year was their 10th year anniversary, and this year is the Year of the Shield.
Yeah. So it's the Year of the Shield, guys. We're happy to be part of it because I think there's going to be a ton of big new things coming out of Discmania. I hear them talking about.
Yeah, I think they created the Year of the Shield right after we agreed. So they're like, oh, we got utility?
You're the
Year of the Shield guy. Bring it out.
You're the Shield.
Anyway, sorry.
So, yeah, so I just wanted to say that we're excited to have them be supporting us, and you don't have to think that we're like all Discmania now, but we're definitely going to support them. We like them.
It was actually, they emailed us, and the first thing we said back was, we would like to work with you, but we also want to be able to review Dynamic, Innova.
Everything.
Everything.
We just want to grow the sport of disc golf. We want to be the one-stop shop for all your disc golf needs.
And that's exactly what Discmania said back. They said, we totally agree, are okay with you guys doing other companies. We want to just grow the sport and have people learn about our products. So Discmania is a great company.
Yeah. So we're excited for that. And one more sponsor that we have that can't forget about Disc Life. Disc Life is a disc golf clothing apparel company.
Disclife.co.
Disclife.co, and that has sponsored us and partnered up with us. And we are soon, not right now, it's not up yet, but we're going to be...
They sent us an email last week, so I think it should be able to work.
Okay, maybe. You guys can try it out.
If not, just
if you
email
go
them.
on disclife.co and buy any of their clothing apparel and use the
Let's just
promo
check it out.
code
Let's go to Nick's
utility.
Clips again. And
We can show you right here. Tanner's going to show you.
I'm going to show you Nick's or Disc Life.
And if you go up to your top URL, type in Disc Life, you're going to see
They have
that they have some sweet clothing apparel. We're waiting on our box to come. We got some pieces, so we're going to be wearing those hopefully in our next podcast. We're going to be plugging them a bit and sorry, burped.
So we're going to be plugging them in a little bit. One thing I like about disclife.co
Love their
is
website.
compared
So
to
clean.
other disc golf clothing companies that you might see on Instagram, which I think kind of annoy me sometimes. Some of those like disc golf lovers or whatever, their
What are you talking about?
their designs aren't very original. Whereas if you look at disclife.co,
These are
like
dope.
this panda one, which is my favorite,
Is that the one you got?
I'm gonna get it hopefully. I think I
I
told
think
him
I
I
got the
wanted it.
Mando one, didn't I? Or I might have got the Ace one because I always ace.
I actually got the Ace one because you didn't want it. So anyway, this like panda shirt, which is really sweet.
He's like,
found it.
Found it.
This one, if you look on their Instagram, I think it's just Disc Life on their Instagram.
Disc Life, yeah.
If you look on their Instagram, you can actually see the drawings, like the sketches of this design. So they're actually drawing up these designs. They're asking for people's input. I think they asked whether people wanted to have a panda or a different design before they did this one.
I like the panda.
And I like pandas too. So this is a really sweet shirt. They hand sketch them and then they bring them back up, which is really cool. They're not just like copy and paste in graphics from online, which I really appreciate.
Yep. True workers. I think it's just two dudes, right?
They're two dudes from Tennessee.
Tennessee. They're kind of like us, and they reached out to us, and we are so glad to be partnering up with them because of how, as you guys can see, how sweet and kind of unique their apparel is. And they have hats, beanies, shirts, women's stuff.
This is the one that you got, right? Namaste?
Yeah, I did Namaste.
Namaste on the course.
And funny thing about the Namaste, I thought I was the original one to make that pun and go, someone says, you want to go eat some dinner? And I go, Namaste right here. Or in yoga class in high school, they'd be like, all right, it's time to go. And I go, nah, must stay right here. Namaste. So when I saw that shirt, I had to get it.
You're not a unique flower. And then look at these shirts. They got a nice shirt, which I know a lot of disc golfers can appreciate. Nicing people on their throws.
Rick Bates, who we talked about earlier, the shovel guy, don't go play with him because he'll just nice every single one of your shots.
Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Nice Guy, huh? Mr. Not So Nice Guy.
So anyway, don't want to plug them for too long, but disclife.co, really sweet company, really cool guys. Check out their Instagram at disclife. We're partnering up with them, and I'm really excited to start wearing their clothing.
And what I was saying about the promo code is that if you buy something and use the promo code utility, you get
free standard shipping.
You get free shipping, which is great because we all love that. So it's just like going to the store, but you don't have to go to the store, and it just pops up on your door. And it helps us out a little bit because they support us in a way that we have worked out. So just know that when you guys are using our code, you're supporting them and us, and you're getting some sick clothes.
Yeah.
Disc Life. Disclife.go. Check them out. Disclife.co. Sorry. So sweet, guys. I think we'll wrap up the podcast there. Thanks so much for tuning in with us. We hope that you liked it. Let us know any improvements or anything that you liked down below in the comments. We're going to put this up on our YouTube as well. We're going to edit that up. And if you follow us on Facebook, we had been putting up just some not so quick clips. I'm gonna get better at that. I was kind of I wanted us to give like a whole intro of me and Tanner of like how we started, which we did in the first podcast. So the first quick clips are kind of long. Now we're gonna go back and I'm gonna be uploading videos of just like kind of little segments of maybe just like a couple minutes, like a question we talked about or some good points that I want to reiterate that we talked about, or maybe questions that we saw people have.
So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube and you don't want to watch the whole hour or hour and 10 minutes, which this one might be, just head over to our Facebook and you'll be getting little snippets of our podcast because that's where those are going to be.
Yep. Facebook, baby. Just look up Utility Disc Golf. And we're on Instagram. Look us up on Instagram at Utility Disc Golf there. We post daily content there. We have a Patreon account as well. If you guys want to support us, you can see our sweet setup.
We got these cool, if you guys are watching our Instagram, I learned how to sew. So
You're a
might get
seamstress,
we might
Tanner.
get some more little utility disc golf products on our website other than just stickers. So, cool little like dry sack
Or you can even use it as a foot bag.
foot bag. Oh, like yeah, that's a good idea.
A hacky sack. A hacky sack / dirt bag to keep you warmed up in between holes when
Dude.
there's backups. I think we just thought of $1 million idea.
Yeah.
Specifically 1 million. That's it. No more, no less.
So,
Let's
we also
let's
on
tell
our
them where to go on
Facebook
Patreon real quick.
Patreon.
Patreon.com/utility disc golf. If you donate there, you will get
Like $1 video, $3 a video.
any amount per video. You will get extra entries into our giveaways. I know it seems like we haven't done a giveaway in a little bit. We're going to be doing one soon with the machete review. But if you donate there, it helps us out so much because it just gives us a little support to buy microphones, laptops, cameras, discs,
Headphones,
lighting, everything that goes into it. We don't just go and spend this as beer money on the disc golf course. That's not true. And we don't buy discs with it.
Yeah, and
Tanner might buy discs with it.
one thing that I want to do is I want to get a green screen behind us, and I want people to send in photos of their local courses, so we can have like every episode we can have a clip of somebody's local disc golf course, and we can maybe talk about their course, which would be really sweet.
I agree. That's great. Anything else to say, Tanner? I'm good.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say is on our Facebook page, if you follow us there, we post unboxing videos.
We do.
So
I'm going to go post one of us. Well, I don't know. I might unpost this unboxing video, but also you guys
should
can
post it. I don't think everybody's going to watch this. So
Yeah.
if you guys like watching people open presents and get to see what sweet new plastic we get, check out our Facebook, and we do unboxings for almost every package we get from Disc Golf Center or Dynamic or probably Discmania coming up soon or
and Disc Life. And
Yep.
we'll unbox our clothing.
Yep.
We'll unbox I'll even unbox my bills for you, and you can just watch me look at my student loan payments.
Yep.
And my car payment. All that stuff. Just kidding. I'm not going to show you that.
All right. So we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching,
Sweet,
guys. We're trying to up the production quality, so I hope you appreciated it.
I feel like this is better.
Yeah, I hope the audio is a lot better this time.
I also feel like we didn't talk over each other as much. I feel like I was pretty conscious of that. Guys, I'm going to be a good listener. I'm going to be a good listener.
So anyway, till next time, guys.
Stay fly.